Hello and welcome back to Sonics vs. Rogue. We're going to get into this incredible series still. Map 1 going very decisively to Rogue. 7-1 indeed.
Yeah, that's pretty much as decisive as it can really get without being a complete sweep. So, well, I guess let's see if Cafe can be a slight improvement over, well, I guess not only the previous game that we saw, but how it went down last night. So we can see that, well, Easley's having a great time. At least Thermite is the first ban. I know this is something you've been thinking, is what we're about to see banned.
Thatcher, probably. No. What the... What?
Explain why you're so taken aback, please, for the people at home.
I think Sonics are just trolling at this point. They just banned double hard breacher on Cafe. I mean, this is about to be a freak show of an attack from Sonics. So the last time these teams went against each other, Rogue did ban out the Thermite, and they banned out the Echo as well. It looks like they're going to do the same thing here. Sonics, however, banned out the Mirror, and they banned out a Thatcher, and they won 7-5 very, very narrowly on Cafe during the Pro League regular season.
But the quick question is, when was the last time they banned the Thatcher and kind of struggled?
Yeah. I mean, was it because of the Thatcher ban? Was it because of OGA are a much better team?
I mean, I guess this is a way to at least get some of the answer. But double heart destruction on this map, it's a little bit of a peculiar one, really, because you kind of think about, okay, top floor point, the default plant point is you kind of get in via cigar and piano, you dig in close on the wall that can just lead you in to get a little bit of a buried plant in the corner of landing, and then that's where you find it. You're going to assume that those walls are out of commission this time around. If they get covered up, yes, you can Maverick your way through.
What? Why are we bringing Code? There's no reason to do that.
The guns?
For the SMG.
For the gun. Yep.
Nah, these guys are trolling now. So,
well,
we'll see the Warden pick come out from Slushhook.
Yeah, we'll see how this all kind of breaks down, really, but I think it's going to be aggressive and I think it's going to be quick. In the meantime, Goddess has obviously bought the Maverick, so hard walls have some cracks to be made in them, but as rightly pointed out by, I'm sure, every single person, the counter to that isn't Kite, it isn't Bandit, it isn't Electrics. They're not really worth picking this time round.
I don't think I've ever seen a Cafe with these bans. I'm very intrigued to see how these attacks go down. Like, the Sonics, was this their plan? They knew that Rogue could have banned a Thermite, and they were just going to like, okay, we'll ban the Haban then.
Double down. You're in our world now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all going to depend on how good the Mavericking skills of Goddess are here. But easily, yeah, he's going for a blast, he's going for a spawn peak.
Well, no bites, unfortunately, yet. The Alder is, unfortunately, a little bit disappointed in not being able to tear off people's heads. In the meantime, Eclipse is running and roaming around downstairs with otherwise a lot of aggressive movement around this top floor, waiting for someone to just swing, and they do! With an amazing quick kill, Sleben takes care of Vertical, and Slash kind of looks a little bit lost for wear on how that went down.
Good night. That's Vertical off the board already. A pretty big fragger coming out from Rogue already off the board, and it looks like his body actually fell down onto Wisestairs as well from a pretty devastating kill coming out of there. But, I mean, that's a great entry pick coming out from Sonics, but they still have a lot of work to do if they want to try and bring this in. I guess Sludgehook brings the one in here for the shield, but I feel like you just bring a Valkyrie, surely. Because he's running the MPX, right? Oh, well, no, he's all about the SMG-12 life, I guess, as Super is going to go down to it, and already brings it into a 4v4. Sonics push this almost the exact same way every single time, where they send Super onto the other side, and they send everyone else onto one side, Cigar side, but Gonfi, again, doing the work on the entry. Eclipse is going to go down, and now 4v3. Rogue are looking a bit squiffy right now.
Yeah, big picks apart, and I guess it's coming into this with a little bit of a casual attitude because, well, so far EU has been able to find 2 of the bodies very quickly. In the meantime, they're ready to start hunting footprints below and start making life uncomfortable for the bodies upstairs. And with the ITER, they can open some of the floors beneath and make, again, these holes just a little bit less solid and structural. Brian is going to try and take up the mantle of a previous body as Goddess puts pressure from above. And there is Neptune swinging in and finding a double, looking for the third, and there it is! Sonics with a fantastic opening round there.
How did that happen? I don't understand. We just had a Cafe attack go almost flawlessly for Sonics when there was a Thermite, and a Habana both off the board. They're just constant peeking coming out from Rogue. They lost so many members early on to kind of unnecessary peeking coming out from them. I mean, I guess if they insta-picked the Maverick, it would have been completely worth it. But it felt like they just kind of had no control there.
Yeah, I think it was... I guess they were a little bit taken aback by the double hard destruction ban. Obviously, we always get little glimpses of the chat that they're having, but it seems like they're kind of... They were saying they were having a good time and messing around with it. And I think the Sonics took them a little bit by surprise and showed up aggressively, and Rogue went, oh, okay, wait, okay, maybe we need to respond a little bit more than, you know, bringing the double SMG, kind of special glasses, secret agent that otherwise rarely really ever get played on this map.
This is kind of what I was expecting more, that they would go downstairs first. I especially like the Mute and Mozzie combo being brought here, but Sonics are going to be bringing the Capitao this time from Super. We'll have a look at how that's going to go down. I definitely love a Mute Mozzie combo on defense here in Cafe.
Well, yeah, sorry, I was just curious about the positioning there. I don't know if you meant to get it just directly underneath the hatch.
Yeah, so when you go on the hatch, you throw it down onto red stairs so that you know if there's going to be anyone there, and you can just put it as a flank drone. And if it goes through where that Mozzie position is, the drone will capture it in midair.
Did he mean to put it directly on the hatch there or next to the hatch?
Next to the hatch. If you put it on the hatch, it'll just get destroyed.
Oh, it looked like you put it on the hatch there.
No, it's right at the edge.
Okay, that's why I was a bit confused. It looked like he kind of just sacrificed it to the greater gods of hatch. But in the meantime, Vertical's trying to not get himself...
already low health.
Yeah, I think they went for a little bit of aggression there. He's being continually droned and called out quite irritatingly as they want to put some immediate pressure against the bakery side. In the meantime, they at least haven't lost Vertical straight away, but with the wall open, they are free to swarm in, and swarm they are doing. There's a lot of pace here, and, well, the C4 doesn't quite catch someone, but Slash catches Sleben. There's still the body upside down rappelling on the top of the main door, though, and he's just trying to find the clip of the hat to be able to take care of them, but with the constant jackal pings coming out, this fight is a very, very tough one indeed, and unfortunately, does not go his way. Super manages to lock back the balance. In the meantime, Isley has doubled up the mantle of trying to hold control of the bakery. They have Vertical not too far away and ready to rotate down around the backside if they need to, as well as Brian just a few more steps further back. But it seems like the pace of Sonics has hit a little bit of a slump.
These setups from Rogue are so weird given the bans as well. I really feel like this bakery wall should have been fully reinforced, but it won't be. We'll see exactly how this is going to work out. As smokes are going to go deep into the site. We'll see easily. He's going to be holding down the breach and seeing what he can do. The Maestro Cam's still up on the board as well to give him a little bit of info as he does peek out onto prep and see what he can do there. Just about halfway into the round, Sonics are going to rotate that push a little bit here, it looks like, to try and get over that control over Coates as well, to try and shut down this aggressive roaming area from Rogue. But Vertical is going to pick up that nice kill onto Neptunes, and Vertical goes huge with a triple kill! Goddess and Golfy both go down to it, and it's all down to Super all of a sudden. What just happened?
Well, it looks like the Capitao's got a lot of work. Oh, no.
No mind.
Never mind. The Capitao gets cut off before he begins to enter their Rogue. Well, the first round they didn't show up, the second they did. I think it's fair to say.
I am absolutely amazed that, one, they didn't reinforce Bakery, which, I guess looking back at it, maybe it's just a way of trying to bait Sonics into doing a certain take and not going backside at all and trying to maverick their way through the hatch or whatever, which yeah, I guess is good. But the second thing I'm amazed by is like Slashug constantly tried to contest the upside down rappel. I really thought for a while he was going to win that actually, but
yeah,
he did pick that up.
Did much better than you thought he would, especially as he was being, as I said, consistently pinged and called during the Dance of Death, and yet, hey, did okay.
There's some very interesting things going on in this game so far, but we're going to go back to a bar and cocktail lounge even for Rogue as the third defense gets underway. Again, the Warden pick coming out from Slash. I really don't get this, really. I feel like I'm missing something here, because Valkyrie also gets a shield here. Maybe it's just for the SMG-12? I'm not sure.
I guess we'll have to see where he decides to play it, because previously it was on the backside, it was on the kind of top of white stairs and around that kind of area. If I was to look at his gadget, and purely his gadget, I would put him towards Cigar and expect a hatch drop or a hatch rush, and that kind of semblance of use there, the same way that you would play it on server stairs on bank. That's what I would imagine. with no hard destruction, that's something that they think Sonics might go to, but that's a very particular use.
I just think that the only, like, his gadget is just so unique, and it's just so particular, and Sonics are not exactly bringing a very flashbang heavy lineup here at all. They're not bringing any smokes. Well, they are bringing smokes in the form of Capital, I suppose, this round, but first time they didn't. So, I don't know, this pick is so weird at the Warden. I feel like the Valkyrie gives you so much more intel. The only thing I can think of is just the SMG-12, and he did manage to pick up a kill with the SMG-12 on the first time they defended her.
Well, I guess we'll see what they intend to do. I think it's like, it's part right, is where they've set him up there, kind of peering out from the white corridor across towards Cigar on that side. They're trying to keep the control there, but otherwise, you know, he's just going around singing Secret Agent Man and trying to find bodies and, you know, protect the rest of Rogue. And, well, I guess we'll see how that comes together. Vertical hasn't actually been swapped very quickly, but Neptune's, in the meantime, has suffered a huge chunk of damage, and I'm wondering if that was an aggressive peek. No,
because he put a breach charge down too close to himself, and they detonated it.
Ah, okay, so...
And that almost killed him. So
oh, dear.
Not a great start.
Super's concerned about the jump out on the windows, but in the meantime, Vertical takes care of Gumphy. The Ash taken out of this as Slash is able to rotate back up and get some information. Brian off the cover on the back stairs and making sure the person on the window doesn't quite find them. And, well, they don't need it. Swing around, drop Super, take him out of the equation on the back stairs, and that's the Caps out off the board, having not really had a huge effect so far. Vertical is getting aggressive against the man that is otherwise dropped against this hatch, and is just trying to find the body as he swings around, but Slash ends up getting the kill first.
Goddess is going to be able to trade it out, however, onto that white hole repel. We'll see how it's going to be going down as a 4v2 has developed. Things not looking too good for Sonics right now, as they try and secure a little bit more control for themselves. We'll see how this is going to be going down for the rest of it. Going to be joining out. They actually still have a decent amount of time, and they do have Diffuser, and they also have 2 Logic Bombs as well as a Frag Grenade remaining on Sleben. And of course, Goddess still has 3 flashbangs. Pretty much all her utility, and she does get a kill out of it! Vertical does go down, she spots the arm, and Sleben on the other side as well. This is definitely very clutchable.
Yeah, I mean, they have themselves on a bit of a split push here on the far new opposite balconies, and it's just a matter of seeing if they can kind of collate themselves and try and push Rogue into each other's lines of sight. And gunfire, just as we saw almost happen there, hopping around on the table, easily able to slip past, but otherwise, so has Goddess slipped her way right into balcony, but Rogue are there and pick up the quick 2 covers easily, and Brian bringing Rogue back into the lead on 2 Cafe.
Things looking much, much better for Rogue here as we continue to push forward. Sonics were off to a very, very strong start here. We thought that that opening round was so aggressive and so coordinated from them at the start, and definitely managed to pull it back. But now things are looking a bit squiffy. Squiffy?
It's looking a bit squiffy, it's looking a bit squiffy, it's looking a bit...
all over the place right now, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately. And, you know, how much of that obviously plays into them deciding to double hard, because it's making their life tough more than anything at this moment in time, because they're the ones limited by a double hard ban on Cafe.
Yeah, they are. However, we're going to go down to that reading room and fireplace. Sonics are going to recognize that it has to be one of those offsides, and probably is going to be that reading room. And they're going to bring the book along. The Nook pick coming out here.
I mean, at this point, may as well, because to be fair, when they've been able to actually find some damage, it's been from sneaky maneuvers and you know, those kind of plays in places where Rogue haven't been a little bit suspect towards it. We kind of saw the same thing the 1 round of Border as well. When Sonics were able to take it, they were a bit under the water. They were a bit kind of in disguise in terms of what they were trying to throw at it, and it came together. But I guess it's just seeing how aware Rogue can be, because so far it seems their information game has been pretty solid, and I'm assuming a Sleben's, sorry, drone is just really doing its best to run there from the Mozzie. I'm going to guess we're going to see Eclipse playing on, well, obviously either the top or the bottom floor there. Eclipse just nice. Mozzie's
really didn't get that drone at all. Oh, there we go.
That was like the T-Rex chasing in Jurassic Park.
Well, we'll see how things continue to go down for Rogue, as they're going for a very, very top-heavy hold. I'm kind of surprised that not only has Brian got a bulletproof here, but he's not also brought a shotgun. He's brought the MP5 once again. I really would have thought that you would bring a lot more self-destruction if you're going to hold really top-heavy here for Rogue.
Yeah, I guess, you know, obviously they have the possibility of Slash and Brian's shotgun there, but that's a huge amount to kind of utilize control with. The Pulse instantly picked apart and pulled, but there is the two bodies offering cover on the top floor with the Maestro on the far side of Easily in pretty much the same place where he's been before. They might be able to find some, at least attempts at bodies before they start to get some control. Below Vertical, playing back on the window where he had the very first drop, and I guess he's going to see if he can offer any cover on this window. Gonna open it for a run-out potential, but knows he can't do it quite yet as the drone swings past from the window, and the body potentially follows, but the angle doesn't line up as Easily drops Gomfy, but Super finds the frag, and Brian finds Super in an old menage a trois of death.
That was good. That was good. So, let's see 3v4 develop now for Sonics. Their Nook play not working out too well for them whatsoever. Vertical trying to get aggressive onto this white stairs jump out here. It's just about halfway into the round now. Looks like Vertical should actually go for the jump out here. So he knows that Sleben, sorry, not Sleben, Neptunes is just outside of that door. See, Sleben is going to be starting to push down on the opposite side. However, Sonic's really need to step up the pace. They want to bring this in, and oh, there goes Sleben with a nice wide peek coming out from Slashug, and a double kill coming out from Slashug here, as Neptunes is going to go down as well. It's all onto Goddess. She just managed to get the down onto the Eclipse, however, in Train. Well, let's see if she finds 3 more. This is not looking too good for her at all. There goes Eclipse. He is going to get revived, of course, and Goddess does drop down into pillars, but it looks like they do know where she is right now, and they could come from anywhere, and there we go. The push does come through. She goes for the pre-fires. Constantly does actually manage to find Slashug, but instantly does get knifed out by Brian as Rogue take round number 4. What a pre-fire from Goddess.
Yeah, it came together, but you could see the knives were barraging that way steadily closer. 3-1. And a good 3 rotation of points, which allows them to head back down to the kitchen. It was a bit of a fast attempt at closing down Bakery that, as we said, hit a bit of a stumbling block. And we commented that it, well, actually you commented that Rogue, obviously they had the wall open. They were kind of treating it aggressive, and it was good work to not die as quickly as they did, holding the kitchen from that firefight and allow people to collapse down. Do you think they're going to double down on that kind of aggressive strategy, or?
I mean, if it works. I mean, they're bringing the same lineup again for it, so it kind of feels like when you bring the lineup, they're going to do the same thing. But actually, no. Slashug is going to bring the Warden once again. But we can see the Lethal Citizen making an appearance.
I know. Good old Glass.
So this in this instance, the Warden pick makes a lot more sense.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
How so?
by attackers.
Because of the Glass?
Yeah.
Okay, do you think it's purely because of that, or because he wants to roll with the double SMGs again?
I think it's because of the Glass, honestly, because you see the Glass and the Jackal both making an appearance, both have smokes. Obviously, Glass has that ability to look through smokes. Glass has also had a bit of a buff to himself as well.
Yeah, the fire rate is...
So,
oof.
He can definitely be a Lethal Citizen, as his name would suggest.
Well, I guess we'll see how they decide to hold down against this. It looks like they're going, obviously, for the single hard reinforcement as they did previously, but I guess it's down to whoever they decide to bury behind the inner workings of the kitchen. They haven't opened up the wall as of yet, but I'm assuming it's only a matter of time before we start to see that get cracked open. Otherwise, no, they're just going to leave it solid and soft, and Slash is going to try and hide in the bakery as best he can and use the pastries as a little bit of cover and defense.
He's really set up for that upside down rappel right now. He's so confident that he's going to get this kill. Gomfy is actually going to go for the upside down rappel right now. We'll see if he is going to get the kill out of it. No! Oh my god! There goes Slashug. Great entry kills coming out from the European duos of Sleben and Gomfy.
Yeah, poor Slash. Didn't even know what hit him by the time Gomfy drifted by and put bullets through his brain. Vertical back on the red stairs to see if he can get some semblance of control on the opposite side of the point. But in the meantime, this is a much better attack from Sonic's. 2 very, very quick opening frags are going to allow them a lot of time to be able to find their way through. They've obviously still got a couple of big operators left on the table, and they've got to still find their way through into the point itself. But now with the soft wall being opened by, well, Sonic's hand, it will give them, again, that little bit more control. They're aware that Vertical's playing on the opposite side, but you can see the Nomad keeping it under control as Eclipse in the meantime takes care of Super. That is the Glass out of the equation, and, well, some of the smoke possibilities put to a bit of a back burner.
Yeah, Rogue still have a decent amount of control over this round. However, Brian is actually going to go for an aggressive play, finally bringing that shotgun along, and it's going to be gone for you, goes down. Eclipse takes Slebin off the board as well, and Rogue have swung things back into their favor. Flashbangs are going to go out. Goddess picks up a freebie onto Brian, and now it has been brought into a 2v2. We have a lot of utility still up for Rogue, but Sonics have plenty of time to work with here, as well as a decent amount of utility of their own here, of course. Vert going to be playing up into coat check and see what he can do. Nice cross angle established by both him and Eclipse to try and shut down this push through prep. Oh, what? That flashed him? Wow.
Well, no follow-up to it, unfortunately. The man has crept steadily in, and the pings are continual, so they just have to play time here, the pair of defenders. They've brought themselves back into a great position, and Eclipse is going to try and hold on. No, he's not. He's going to swing around and get a body for his troubles, and now it is just one man stuck behind a corner, but he amazingly finds Eclipse, and the double vertical suffers as well. Neptunes, out of nowhere, finds the pair.
Such a great play from Neptunes, but also like a really nice angle that he's playing around there, knowing where the two operators from Rogue are playing around, and just being able to quick right peek, left peek from that area. Give himself a lot of nice angles set up there, but Rogue actually had a nice crossfire set up there. So it's a shame they weren't able to trade those frags out. Sonic's looking a little bit better here, and I think, you know, with those 2 rounds, they can be content. If they can find another round here in attack, they can definitely be in a really good place going on to the defense.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to be going up against Bar again. This was a point that they took previously. Curious to see if Monty sticks the lineup. Super
I
has
really
sixth
don't
pick.
like this. I really do not like this. If they stick the Monty, I really do not like this from Sonics. I don't mind a Monty, but historically, Sonics have not been able to play around Super's Monty very well at all. I don't think I've ever seen a single successful Monty push coming out from Sonics.
I think Super might have pulled almost a different operator every single round.
As I said, he's been the flex. He's been the one who's changing up all the strats, and he's been, you know, he is the team captain, of course, as well. So I'm not confident, honestly, because I don't think that Sonics are a good kind of like Monty push team. They don't really bring out the strategy too often.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see how it does go down. Historically, I've not been confident in the strategy, but we'll have a look. I like this little hole that he's opened up. Well, can't see it now, but on train, just onto train here at the right, going into piano. He's opened like a bit of vertical hole going down, and you should be able to throw a C4 up from there into Cigar. You can see it at the right side here. So I like that kind of adaptation coming out as well, just to be able to like, okay, they got a monster, they're going to do some sort of Cigar push here probably. As Eclipse is going to go for the spawn peek, but no, we'll not find anyone just yet.
He's going to try again. He doesn't find anyone the second time either. No
third time?
luck twice. Give it another go. Well, might find the Monty who's going to slowly and steadily make his way, already fully shielded up.
I think every multiplayer uses this skin.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
shoot me.
Why wouldn't you? Don't shoot my papillions.
Yeah.
My sweet little papillions. Yeah, it's a great skin. You can see them creeping their way steadily further towards this top floor and try and get some semblance of control. As you said, I'm curious to see what they do with the Monty, whether they try and obviously just not hot drop him in, but obviously let him kind of fall.
I would be very surprised, Luke, if this Monty just went full swing down. I mean,
Imagine.
anything's possible, Sonics. Anything is possible.
Imagine the scenes.
It could happen. I'm kind of hoping now at this point it does happen, but yeah, I don't think it is going to happen at all. I think what's more likely is they'll push the Monty, he'll like drop onto New Balk,
Yep.
and he'll just like hold that while the rest of the team drop down behind him.
Yeah, because this has been one of the things that, well, kind of pulled them apart the previous time round was as soon as they started to enter, Rogue were aggressively set up to, well, make sure that the ground was exceptionally hot. And without the hard destruction to be able to offer yourself some semblance of control, it becomes a little bit of a tighter fight. Going to slowly burn their way across and try and make some magic happen, actually, as they look for a body through it, but can't quite find anything. I thought for a second Maverick was going to burn the entire hatch through and allow them some rotation, which is the usual way of pushing against this and give yourself some more freedom to move, but seems like they're just going to trust the Monty, who's going to roll all the way in, and they're going to find the firefight and find a double slash! Swings and gets the two EU players, and Monty is helpless to do anything against it.
Oh my god, Slash gets the Deagle kill as well on top of that, but does eventually get traded out by Super on the Monty, but that is a great play coming out from Slash, and now we find ourselves in a 4v2, all down to Neptunes and Super to try and bring this in, but this is looking awful right now. Super very, very low HP himself as Brian takes Neptunes off the board. It's all down to Super, but no, gets shot in the back, and Rogue took the round. And yep, I said it, I do not think that Sonic's are good at playing around the Monty. You saw how they pushed that. The pre-fires were not there. They didn't be able to take Slash off the board. Slash gets 3 kills out of that, even though they have active intel on where he is. That is a massive mistake and massive misplays coming out from Sonics. And I feel like, honestly, that round may have just costed them the game, because the last time that we saw these teams go against each other, Sonics won 4 attacks.
Oh, really?
So, 3 attacks and 4 defenses. So, you know, in this scenario, if Sonics win those 4 defenses, they go through to overtime. You know, what really happens here?
Well, I guess we'll find out. We're heading down to kitchen and service for another trip around this, and the Ash from Slash to the Glaz. Well, I guess we'll see how this kind of comes to fruition. Obviously, they have the possibility of keeping the long-distance control. They may be read into that as being, well, it's not going to be a top-floor pick based on what they've brought to the table, and they're going to allow themselves some bit more range, bit more angle, bit more possibility at playing from the big door all the way through to the back of the kitchen. At the same time, I guess it's, you know, how familiar they are with it. Curious where they're going to put the Maverick.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much Maverick play come out so far, but I think it's mostly it's not being because like Goddess doesn't know what's going on with Maverick, because she clearly does. But I think it's been more the fact that the Maverick hasn't been particularly like needed on these attacks from Sonics, because most of the stuff has already been opened up by Rogue during their defenses. So I think the way that Sonic's going to play this is going to be a little bit more turtle strategy. So we'll have a look at how this Maverick usage is getting through. But it's just so weird to see a cafe with these bans and just see such an aggressive hold.
Yeah, I think it's the thing about it is when you kind of look at, well, this stuff is now generally going to be off limits. Not based on the fact that you can bring a Maverick and you can burn your way through, but it's not like taking an external wall or a balcony kind of wall, because you don't have the time to be able to do that, because the defenders have all the time to apply counter pressure. They have all the time to find movements from above or the side, and you never have that semblance of freedom that you do on places like Clubhouse, where you'll occasionally see it.
The big thing I'm surprised about here is that we're seeing a glass strategy coming out from Slash Hook, but we're not seeing a Capitao in the lineup from Rogue. Capitao makes a lot of sense on this map in pretty much every single attack, but already we see Rogue taking over control over Bakery. It's interesting that there was an ADS behind the Bakery counter, but there was no Jaeger plane behind there, and that wall that Brian's looking at right now is not reinforced. Because normally you want to reinforce that if you're going to play somewhere behind the Bakery. So it's kind of like pointless utility, but Slash Hook is going to pick up the first frag of the round. Nice angle up onto Super, and already we're losing a Nitro.
Yeah, that was, well, slim pickings there from the side of Slash as he cuts the man in half through the Maverick hole, well, line, and now it's just a matter of, again, closing down. You can see that he's being jackaled around to the back. They'll be well aware of the positioning and the placement of that man, and it's just more and more ground being opened for this class to steadily make his way through. Goddess and Neptunes, 2 ACOGs, and, well, 2 positions are going to try and hold on as Sleben is going to double up behind with the Legion traps to keep a bit of control, but in the meantime, they're swinging around and they see the barrel of the gun. The pings are coming out, and they're well aware that the Jackal's there, and Jackal gets cut out as he tries to find freedom, and they're going to double down and try and offer some support on the far side.
Oh, there goes Eclipse. I do love this angle as well, being held by Goddess, just right up against the wall where she was. We'll see how the continuing hold does go through. Rogue are running out of time right now to try and make something work here. They desperately need some sort of pick, and this has kind of been Rogue strategy throughout the series so far, of just wait, open up everything, try and get a pick through it. It's been working so far, and Vertical is going to find that pick that they do necessarily need. Let's see how the rest of this does continue to go down.
Well, they still have the body far back towards the dining room side. It's going to just try and keep some control. And if they have the ability to rotate uncontested and come in behind Rogue in this final 20 seconds, that could be decisive at worst and completely monumental. And it's just a matter of seeing if they can read into it. There is the firefight that we expected. Finds one down and has managed to escape out of it as Sleben doubles down, and Gumpy and Sleben find some bodies for their trouble. And that was exactly what they were waiting for, because now, with only 10 seconds on the clock and a pistol in hand, Sonics take the round.
I just realized as well, actually, that so this was Sonics' map pick, so Rogue get to pick the sides, which means Sonics get to pick sides in OT. If this goes to OT, then Sonics surely pick defense and hopefully, then they will see how it's going to go down.
Well, I guess we'll have to see if they can find some more places to pull it round. Calling the cops, apparently, but we'll leave that for them. Bar and cocktail. We'll head back round to now 3-4, and we're in a little bit of a slip. And Super's going to call his dad because some of these skins are skins are coming in. Oh, it's going to be a dad fight.
Attackers need to locate and
Who
defend.
wins
Text chat in NA is always very entertaining.
Who wins the dad fight? See? Obviously, his dad works for UB as well.
I think Slashhook's dad could take it.
You think Sasha's dad?
Yeah.
Maybe can we get like a poll whose dad wins in a dad fight out of Slash's dad and Super's dad?
Yeah, type in 1 for Slashhook's dad and 2 for Super's dad in the Twitch chat. But as we get into round number 8, we'll see how things are going to be going down. Finally, we see the Capitao coming out from Rogue's lineup. I do like the Capitao edition here. And it just makes a lot of sense, right? Capitao is just so powerful on this. We did see it multiple rounds coming from Sonics. Rogue need 3 attacks on the board if they want to bring this in. Obviously, yeah, that's going to bring it
That's
to
how
7.
maths works.
That is how maths works. But I'm saying if they only have 2 attacks here and they bring it to OT, I just don't think it's going to be good enough for them.
No, yeah, it's fair enough because the way that this is kind of set up, if a team gets the wind and the malleability to find themselves putting some ground down on their defenses, it can really just swing their way. And obviously they only dropped 2 when they were defending themselves, but it's the balance of, well, this is going to be defender-sided either way, and whoever gets that kind of, well, if Sonics get that position in the overtime, it would be hard to lose.
Just thinking about, you know, if this does go into the favor of Sonics, which I think is kind of likely at this point, we'll head to Consulate, and honestly, Rogue were not looking good at Consulate yesterday against Two-Face, so, you know, I guess we'll see how it does go down, but heading into round number 8, just about a minute into the round, and Rogue is slowly getting that control up onto that sort of red side of the map.
Well, Neptune's was holding aggressive, and this is what we kind of come to expect. The Nitro cell under... Well, I say holding aggressive, and he drops vertical very quickly on there, buried inside a cabinet, and now they still have the vertical possibilities from below. The Jackal tracks are coming out, but without the ability to kind of capitalize upon them, there's only so much that will really grant you. Slash is digging his way down to what is often called the G4 plant spot, and is ready to trying to pick up the rotation around the backside of stairs, but you would assume they wouldn't swing themselves up just yet. Maverick going to try and make things a little bit more uncomfortable inside the central point of this, but Goddess doesn't care as she swings round, finds the body of Slash. She aggressively swings in. Great Valkyrie camera there to feed the information, and well, let's assume they won't be able to get away with that a second time as Brian sets up to catch the man on the rotate.
Jones are going to be starting to go out from Rogue, and they'll see exactly what the push can be here. Nice angle set up by Brian up onto the white stairs to try and cover it all down. But overall, Rogue are kind of running out of time right now as we move into the final minute of the round. They've still got plenty of utility up on the board, but they have no way of dealing with the shield and the position up in Freezer. And Sonics are just not giving them any picks whatsoever. Capitals are, however, going to go down deep. We'll see how Rogue starts their attack. There we go, easily just pick up Sleben. That's a definitely necessary pickup there as he starts to move into the site. But the white says rotate does come through from Neptune. He finds one, but instantly traded out by Brian. This is still very clutchable from Rogue. They have Diffuser, and they have plenty of utility still available in the form of 2 smokes, but the Maestro come up is going to make things punishing as easily goes down. It's all down to Brian to try and bring it in on the AR-15 to see what he can do. Slowly creeps his way around, but everything is open right now. The Maestro Cam is still up. He does not find one. He goes down, actually. The Sonics take round number 8, and they're looking much better on this defense.
4-4. Sonics have found their way back into a semblance of a balance in this game, and, well, these defenses are proving very, very vital for them. They're able to keep finding these bodies, and Rogue seem a little bit stumped and a little bit slow, if anything. The pacing just isn't quite coming together for them on this cafe because they're never quite in the position to have the control they need to be able to then act. We saw it in the previous round, as we said, 30 seconds left, they've got the body count, but they hadn't aggressively pushed the point, so when they do, it's going to be a bit of a shaky push, and well, they took advantage of that. And the second time around there as well, they took advantage of that too. Every single time that we saw Rogue get a little bit closer and a little bit more into point, there was another camera and another body. It was a step-by-step kind of dismantling by the defensive Sonics, and let's see if they can continue that as we go to the third and often off point of mining Fireplace.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen this yet. Rogue went to reading when they went to their offsite,
Attackers
so
need to
this is an
locate and
interesting
defuse
pick. You
the
don't
bomb.
normally see this being brought through. I'm gonna guess that Sonics is gonna make that
Bomb
rotate
located
through
by
into
attackers.
reading, and they're just gonna hold this like really aggressively just upstairs in area. And you can see already sight lines getting opened up as well through onto red, making those rotates where they can. And you can see this upstairs hold is coming through from Neptune's.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw the pulse before on this middle floor point, it becomes quite big because of the way you can kind of read through the information. Obviously, you have the ability to shoot, but the C4 and the Nitro capabilities can be absolutely monumental. Looks like they want to try and go for a little cheeky C4 loop over the top, potentially, and they're allowing themselves the same way you would see in a hold on, say, the basement point on Bank, but I guess we'll see if they can kind of bring it to fruition, because so far Pulse hasn't had the best time on this map.
Yeah, no, he hasn't really. I think Pulse is always like, you don't necessarily always see the impact of the Pulse because you just give out huge amounts of info. Really, really good operator for this site because you've got roamers above as well. Goddess can just sit passively in sight and just constantly be giving out active intel on where the push exactly is coming from to help all the roamers upstairs.
Well, Flash Grenade's already coming over the top as Gomfy's still doing some point architecture and Slash is looking for some violence in the meantime. Eclipse finds a body on the far side, but this is generally to be expected. Normally there's at least 2 operators holding down and keeping everything stum on the opposite side of this map, and well, it actually looks like one of them is at least rotated off to be doubled up by the body inside the top of White Stairs. Easily is finding his way through, and he's gonna try and pick apart the Maestro at range, and I guess it's down to how long Super can hold off the collapse from above, or is Goddess able to supply some information towards them.
Jones are going to continue to go out as well as Rogue look for their opening, something they were pretty good at doing on Border, but so far in Cafe, they've been able to do so far. So we'll see that they have managed to track out people onto Cocktail. They know that there is a definite long hold coming out here. We also, of course, have that passive intel coming out from the pulse from below, and the definite threat of a Nitro if anyone holds an angle for too long.
This is, again, a lot of time being thrown by Rogue to try and find these opening picks. They still haven't really got any semblance of control against the guns on the far side, because as soon as they swing into the open, it can start to go opposite, and there it goes. Neptune's finds Vertical, and Neptune's finds Slash, and Neptune's looks like he wants to keep finding more, but Sleben is the one that's going to get easily, and then he's going to get Eclipse, and there is a flawless round for Sonics.
Absolutely dismantled by Neptunes and Sleben there. Really good fragging duo coming out here from Sonics. What aggressive peaks coming out from Neptunes there to completely shut it down from Rogue. Still no attacking round coming out from Rogue. This is looking awful for them, and Sonics may not even need the overtime as they're taking it all the way. This is just so impossible for Rogue to try and find an entry with the double hard breacher ban and just everything locked out from Sonics here. Also, like, good usage of the Maestro cams and just intel generally to just see where that push is coming from. They knew that Rogue would push very, very heavily upstairs and take from Cigar. They have that constant pulse information coming out from below. We're going to go to kitchen service and kitchen cooking. This was actually kind of a weird sight last time because Rogue kind of took the, that aggressive hold onto Bakery, which we had that weird ADS. I don't know what was happening there, but like, it was looking really, really good for Rogue at the start.
Yep.
But I think that the way that Rogue held that defense was not great with the bakery wall open and the side bakery wall open as well. Sonics were just not giving them any pick whatsoever. Slashug is going to bring the first Blackbeard of the series.
Yeah, all of the pacing for me from Rogue just isn't quite there. And I feel like if they don't get this kitchen point this time and they get put to match point, it's over for them. Their attack from the top floor has just looked completely, well, torn apart by Sonics. Every single time they begin to drop and begin to try and find anything, the Sonics are able to just take them out of the equation and take them before they gain any kind of momentum and any kind of control that is feasible. At least when they were down here previously, they were able to find some bodies and able to find their way into and against the site, but they left it all very too late, and unfortunately the wire did not swing their way. Super, bringing the error, as was said, can consistently jump between any operators that they need and want to try, and it's been working very well on their defenses so far.
Yeah, the defense from Sonics has been absolutely flawless so far, so we'll have a look as we move into round number 10. But Rogue going to do a bit differently here to bring it in. They've brought a few different operators here. They brought the Dokkaebi now, and of course the Blackbeard's the big interesting pick here from Rogue. I'm not sure if this is the correct mentality from them, because I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to take bakery control, and yeah, Slash's just going to do this. We use the Blackbeard and the Maverick together to try and open up a bit of an opening for yourself here. He did the same thing with Glaz though, and it worked, and he did manage to get his entry pick, but then not much more than that. I feel like Rogue's whole strategy has just been opening angles and waiting for a pick.
Well, they're going to see if they can find one before they start to aggressively put pressure on the point and almost try and bait it, but with the reinforced wall there, it's going to be an obvious breakdown. Easily is trying to get some control on the backside of the point alongside Vertical, and I think that's a very good change-up to how they played it last time, because as we saw what happened deep from that back bar ended up being completely monumental, and there is Brian finding the opener. Neptunes gets taken out, a player that has otherwise cooked the opening frag the past 2 rounds, so it's a very big pick for the side of Rogue. Slash suffers a little bit of damage, but is able to pull himself together as easily as actually swung around and doubled up against this front side, and now it's just down to Vertical on the back to keep control. Super is waiting for the aggression to swing around towards him and is able to take it apart. No, it's actually Goddess that takes care of it easily. That's another big swing in their favor, and there, through the soft wall that had collapsed in the middle of the Maverick holes.
Yeah, good play coming out from Goddess there to shut down a multitude of players and see how things are continuing to go down for Rogue, but so far not looking too good for them. Neptunes, of course, as you said, is off the board now, but we've lost our Blackbeard. We do have this now hole just being opened up. Not sure this is small enough for big enough for them to be able to vault through, and it looks like Rogue gonna try and rotate that push a little bit. Brian's gonna burn the ADS in sight. You see Super just holding down prep, of course, with the yellow. And this just seems to be unpenetrable right now from Sonics. I mean, Rogue is just having no entry right now as they are getting shut down across the board. Gonfi and Solomon both pick up kills right now. Brian finds one, but instantly gets traded out. And Sonics take round number 10, and they put themselves onto match point right now. 1 round away from bringing this in. And honestly, I feel like they've already won the map now, because if this goes to OT and Rogue bring this in, I think Sonics win this anyway.
I would be amazed if it got to OT. We really need to see Rogue reinvent their method of taking their top 2 floors. Because previously it's just, you know, their best attacks have been those past 2 on that kitchen, and they've been able to find bodies and get some semblance of control, but then they just kind of lose it to the wide hold and the people on the back of the point. And even then, the Jackal was completely taken by surprise by the Jaeger from what we saw. Whether there was a bit more before that, I don't know, but from what we saw, it looked a bit by surprise. And you know, the previous time we saw them drop in here, it was just Sonics were able to take them apart kind of a step-by-step and a feed from feed.
I like the introduction of more nades into the Sonic. We did see nades coming out from the Dokkaebi over easily, but now Brian's fallen off the Maverick. Leaving that Maverick, of course, to the classic card breacher from Rogue is going to be easily who's picking that up. Something about this as well, nice Easter egg, is that if you look at Maverick holding the diffuser, it looks like a horse holding a lunchbox.
Is that an Easter egg?
I think it is.
I
like to think so.
The thing is, UB Office right now is watching this.
Yes.
And they've all just stood up and started clapping like a moon landing, going, someone has finally seen our most secret Easter egg is the horse carrying his lunchbox with his lunch inside. Setting themselves up now to be able to try and take this. As you said, it's a good change. The frag grenades might be able to get some more control and get some more damage. I don't like that they're not bringing a Capitao, because what we've seen so far from Sonics is they're very good at holding angles.
I'm not against it, honestly, because I think the big issue from Rogue's attacks here is they haven't been able to deal with the Maestro cams very effectively. We saw Sonics on their attacks, they were able to consistently deal with that Maestro cam up in heaven easily, just by bringing nades onto this rappel. So, I mean, they have nades up on the table, they have the SAPPHIRE up on the table. I think it should be better for them, but as I say that, Slevin is going to run out and get 1 kill, but instantly get traded out by Vertical, but the jump out comes from the other side, and there we go! Neptune finds 1, but instantly gets traded out by Vertical's Claymore, but honestly, that's worked out quite well for Sonics.
Yeah, Jackal gone, SAPPHIRE gone, you know, that's a big loss, especially for how aggressive they've kind of been playing this. Obviously, they threw themselves at that, and it was clever to put the Claymore down first and kind of bait the push there, because if that hadn't have been picked up on a trade, it would have been probably, well, good night. But I guess we'll see if they can find a way through. Obviously, they still have some frag grenades in the hand of Brian. They have the ability to try and make use of them, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them. And let's see if they can dismantle what has been a pretty solid hold from the Maestro on the back wall. The frag rolls in, but it doesn't quite catch anybody as the ground explodes around Goddess, but she's able to just stay high and dry on the desk and wait for a little bit more confrontation. Comfy in the meantime.
I think he was trying to find the Maestro cam, not the Maestro player.
Did he?
Don't think he managed to get the Maestro cam. No, it's still up. Okay, so unable to find that Maestro cam. And again, as I said, Rogue have had such an issue trying to get those things off the table. You do have an Elo mine there. He's going to detonate it. However, Super's going to recognize that as Gonfi pushes aggressively up onto Whitehall. Should be able to find a kill here. Saruna, and there we go. Slash hook off the table. And this is looking all Sonics right now as Rogue are left in a 3v2 with no utility in the ball, but easily does pick up that kill onto Goddess. And that's going to remove a little bit more effectiveness of those cams coming up from the Maestro. Moves it into a 2v2. However, Brian could be pushing all the way up into Barnes. See what he can do, but Gonfi shuts down easily. It's all down to Brian to bring it in, but won't be able to take it. Sonics take round number 11, and they'll take the map 7-4.
Really, really well played there from their defense. And I guess at the beginning we were like, well, why are they banging too hard destruction? It's a curious decision. It goes across what they usually do, and well, it apparently worked very, very well. A flawless set of defenses on the side of Sonics. This is a best of 3 though. We are far from over. Well, I say that, we've got one more map. That'll be coming up in a little bit, and we will see you soon on Consulate.
Absolutely stunning! They are the champions!
Predict the outcome, win the game. Get live coverage and schedules for your favorite tournaments. Analyze, predict, and vote to gain points. Compete with other esports fans and climb the leaderboards. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.